Hello, and welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
What's up, Delora? What's up, listeners? We're back.
Hi, y'all. I'm so happy to be back.
Absolutely.
How you doing, Ashley?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Now, was all of my July great? No. However, God is good. God is consistent. Mm-hmm. He is great, and I'm great.
Well, you know, we've been having some replays dropping, guys. We just dropped the replay for They Clone Tyrone, which is a fave. If you have not listened to it, go back and listen.
Toot our own horns, you know what I mean? But it was fun.
It was a fun recap. It was a fun film, right? Because it was so much going on.
So much.
I re-listened to it and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot how wild that movie was. But we have been having quite a bit going on just personally, right? It's the summertime, it's vacations, it's trips, there's all this stuff going on. So tell us about Black Tech Week that you attended while we were away.
Girl, I barely attended. I had so many high hopes, but there's a lot of restructuring going on at my work, and I end up only get a chance to go to one day worth of, sessions, but that's okay. I enjoyed the time that I had. I really did enjoy it. 2 sessions I went into for sure was on creativity. It was really interesting because the young lady who spoke, which I cannot remember her name, please forgive me, but she's a creative on social media, but she's also has like I think she's a product manager at one of the big tech companies, and she's known on social media for her cosplay. And she talked a lot about being the side quest queen, which means like she's really big on traveling and just doing creative things, doing things outside of just the 9-to-5. And I was really inspired by that because I'm like, I'm a bit of a side quest queen. I mean, we have this podcast. I learned how to play the freaking cello just because. And I'm like, yeah, I want to do some other things. And it just was really, if in that session, it was like reaffirming in that it's important to work both sides of the brain. You know what I mean? Like where everything's very, corporate and technical, but it's the creativity that allows you to think outside the box and do some really impactful things. I sat in on the Dues founder session as well. And she told her story, and she talked about how her use of AI is super important, and it's important that we get into it because it's really racist. It's so much so that she was playing around with it, and whenever she tried to like do something with Black women, it was like coming back as like neck rolling or being angry or twerking. And she was like, this ain't us. Like, what do you mean? And whenever she put in woman that's like non-Black, it was like the peak femininity, and grace. And she just was talking about how she's learning the technology, she's been utilizing it in her marketing, and she encouraged everyone to get in so that we're able to fight back on these awful stereotypes. How about you, Ashley? How was your trip?
So my trip was good. I went to Orlando. My second home. It was very, very hot, as it is this time of year. Of course, going to be more so south. But I feel like Ohio's catching up a little bit in terms of the heat and humidity, honestly. But I had to work, so it wasn't all fun and games. But I did get a chance to have some great catch-ups with friends, got a chance to have a little pool time, went to a concert for a couple of artists over the weekend. One thing I've realized is I am getting old. because the way my eardrums were not set up for that concert, like we had to like move backwards in the venue because I was like, I feel like my ears are about to start bleeding. So, like, it's
Did you have
just
earbuds?
no, no.
Mm.
No, and some people were up in the rafters, like right by the speakers, and I was like, I don't know how y'all are doing this because I'm about ready to leave. But just things you're learning as we're getting a little more seasoned in life. But I had to bring back to the pod two celeb sightings. Lance Gross, I
Oh,
saw
yay.
twice, still
You
just as
saw him
handsome.
at
American Black Film
Essence.
Festival, American Black
Oh,
Film Festival,
that one. Okay.
still just as handsome. And then
Love it.
Kodak Black was shooting a
Oh,
music video in a jewelry store downtown.
interesting.
I was like, okay, I don't even feel like I really saw any celebrities when I lived there. So it's just funny to not live there now and to have a couple sightings on a trip. So there you go. Um, Looking forward to more trips, I'm sure this year, but I'm also ready for a little bit of a break because the way these last couple trips have gone with my travel,
You
like
were starting to tell me this.
the weather situations have been crazy for me this season. I had to take a trip for
Yeah.
work and I ended up having super bad weather delays to the extent where I was at the airport and trying to get they were trying to put us over at a hotel at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. The hotel was sold out, had to get my own, didn't make it to my destination. Barely got any sleep, didn't make it to my destination till mid-morning the next day. That was exhausting and crazy. Then this
Oh
one
my.
again, delays, didn't make it to my destination till, I mean, shout out to Alamo Rental Car though, baby. Y'all stay open. I got a rental car at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
Oh
So
my.
y'all were the real MVP of my trip. But
Wow.
yeah, it's just, that is tiring um
The
to have
what do they
travel
call it? Control
issues.
centers? What's the name of it? Isn't that a lot different these days than it had been in the past?
So I'm not sure because that's not really what has impacted my trip and travel. Like it hasn't been the air traffic controllers that are
Mm-hmm.
monitoring this because it's weather related that I've had
Mm-hmm.
issues with. It's just the seasonal storms coming through in the different places I've had to go to. Traveling is already tiring, let alone extended delays and
Yep.
issues and not getting where you need to be until the wee hours in the morning. Is just, yeah, it's just tiring. So I could take a little break probably after my next work trip and get to sit down somewhere. But glad I got a chance to do it. Glad to be back. Glad to be back with all of you guys. And it is our Thursday episode, which means it's time to get into these pop culture streets. And I am so sad to have to start the episode today with such an unexpected and tragic death that we found out about this week, which is Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Delora, you text me this. You were the first person to text me this. He passed away actually over the weekend, but we just found out about it early this week in a drowning incident on a trip to Costa Rica with his family. According to an ABC News article, he was out swimming with his 8-year-old daughter, and some surfers spotted them struggling and dove in to help. One of the surfers was able to bring his daughter to safety. Unfortunately, they were not able to get to Malcolm in time. This was so utterly shocking. And the way my Instagram algorithm is set up, I get a lot of black celebrity folks
Yeah.
and
Yep.
reactions. And so I'm
Yep.
seeing Kevin Hart and different people like WTF and Issa Rae, no. And I just feel like we
Yeah.
all collectively had the same reaction. I mean, Malcolm Jamal Warner was 54. So it's just not anything you expected. And then also such a senseless and tragic way for someone who has been such a icon in in pop culture and media and black television and television period. Theo
Yes.
Huxtable
L-
to
legendary
go.
show. Legendary show, especially in the work that they did with showing a different lens on the Black experience here in America. And so he and that most of the family are beloved, especially amongst Black folks, but America as a whole. And I think one of the things that has been heartwarming in this time of grief is knowing that he was genuinely a decent person Like
Hmm.
so many people talk about his genuine actual character, the man that he was, the things that he stood for. He was obviously a creative, you know, creating albums, winning Grammys on spoken word, playing bass, continuing his journey as an actor. Speechless, Ashley. And I was very hesitant on sending it to you because I know it's not fun receiving devastating news in the middle of the workday, but I just was so in shock when I
Yeah.
got it. I was like, not Theo.
Yeah.
Like,
Like when I saw it, I'm like, what? Like, how is this possible? Like, what's the cause? That was the biggest thing. I was thinking, like, what? I, I mean, it was devastating. Like, I don't know if I've been this devastated by a celebrity death in this way in a long time. You know, I do, to your point, appreciate and love that it seems like he was so genuinely lovely and that people have such nice things to say about him. I sent you and Shamika that interview, that podcast interview he did with Melissa Ford before he passed away,
yes.
talking about
Mm-hmm.
legacy and talking about that's how he wants to be remembered and that he's a good person because his father is a good person, and
Right.
just the beauty of that he, because we talk a lot about Hollywood and a lot of the pitfalls of Hollywood and a lot of the ugly side of Hollywood and the fact that he was able to remain, even being a child star,
Girl.
so well centered and humble and beautiful, and retain that within himself and within his character. It's a beautiful thing, but also it sounds like he was able to live such a beautiful life. And
Yes.
my heart just goes out to his family, because one thing I was thinking about when it was first, broke, the news first broke, was that's trauma
Yes.
when not only your loved one passes, but you have to be a witness to how
Yes.
they pass.
Yep.
That's a trauma that they'll have
Yep.
to live with the rest of their lives, and that's really tough.
So tough. And again, the reach of the Cosby Show is so, I don't know if we fully understand it because I ended up posting this on our social media. Adam Sandler is at his movie premiere talking about Malcolm-Jamal Warner. He played one of his friends.
Yep.
This is before SNL, like Adam Sadler talking about how good of a person he was, and he was always so nice and so warm. Remembering this was one of the top TV shows when there were
Hmm.
only like what 4 or 5 networks.
Hmm. Yeah,
um,
despite the situation with Bill Cosby, the reach
right.
and legacy of that show is solidified.
Period. And so that's what I'm getting at. It's like I sometimes forget how much that show touched so many people's lives in Hollywood in their acting journey. Like that was one of his first jobs. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just really fascinating. But this is
What?
just so sad. It's so sad. And you said the last time you were this devastated, honestly, probably Kobe.
Exactly. Exactly. Because it was so unexpected. It was so
Yes.
tragic.
Yes. He's young.
It was so
54 is not old.
it was so gripping too. Like it stuck with you. It sticks with
Yes.
you. What happened. And I know, guys, I'm not being very eloquent because I still think I'm a little bit in shock about the whole situation, and it's flooded my timeline, and I'm still like, TMZ does too much. They showed a video of him at the airport that's supposedly like the last sighting of him and all this stuff, and I'm like, it's so eerie because you just never know when that last moment is. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But I love that Van, I've listened to him and Rachel's reaction. They had their reaction in real time on the mic when they found out on Higher Learning
Do
Pod.
they? Oh
And
my.
Van said it so well when he said, if at one point in time Bill Cosby was considered America's dad, Theo, Michael Jar Warner was America's son, you know?
Exactly.
And that is, I mean, you talk about a family that set a standard within the Black community. Absolutely. This was an ideal family, but not just an ideal family. It was a reflection of the reality of Black families that had never been seen before.
Right.
And Theo was one of the most relatable and iconic of that cast,
Yes.
even still,
Yes.
because he has such memorable lines. He was so has such great comedic timing.
Yes.
I still think about the episode to this day where he was not doing well in school and Bill Cosby comes to the room or Cliff Huxtable comes to the room trying to talk to him about it. He's like, Dad, I want you to just, like not think my worth is because of this, but because I'm your son. And Cliff is just like, Theo, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. No wonder you get D's and everything. It was just such an iconic scene, an iconic episode. And like I said, like he's just so cemented in my life, like his presence is.
Yes. I
Um,
remember his show Malcolm and Eddie, which was like on
yeah.
like was it like UPN or WB or something back in the day?
Yes,
That was a
yes,
good show. I
yes.
didn't realize how much they hated each other on the show.
Yeah. I didn't either.
But he was also Tracy Ellis Ross' husband.
Husband. Yeah, I saw her tribute in her post. I mean,
Yes.
somebody was like, "Y'all go check on Keisha Knight Pulliam because she's not
Girl.
okay. I'm sure none of
Tempest.
them are okay.
Oh,
I'm sure none of them are
well,
okay."
Jerika was able to get a call with Bill Cosby. And one of her questions was like, have you had the chance to talk to Felicia Rashad about it? And he said, yeah. They talked about, you know, who he was and what he meant to them. And uh this is this is so sad.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Like it's still, like I said, doesn't
Yes,
feel real.
it does not.
But I hope and pray that in his final moments, he definitely feels like he did what he came here to do and he had a life very well
Yeah,
lived despite, having to leave his loved ones definitely way too soon.
absolutely. And honestly, watching through all of his recent interviews and conversations on podcasts, it made me realize like, oh, when you're recording, it's important to say things that matter. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. These things
Because
that they're cemented.
they are.
They're cemented. Rest in peace, Malcolm.
Yes.
We also have to give a RIP to Ozzy Osbourne. He passed away at the age of 86. He had lived, I'm looking at a Yahoo article, for many years with Parkinson's disease. And tributes are pouring in for him. He was a rock and heavy metal icon. They had a reality show, him and his wife and children, called The Osbournes, that was iconic on MTV. He was definitely a pop culture staple as well in terms of his music with Black Sabbath, in terms of the reality show kind of. I mean, they were at the cusp, right? Like it was like a boom when the Osbournes show was out and around.
I
So,
mean, it was the first iteration of unscripted television. I mean,
yeah,
it
the
was pretty
boom of
produced.
reality TV.
Yes,
They were
yes,
really a
yes,
part
yes.
of ushering that in.
They it was them before the Kardashians, you know what I
Up
mean? The
for sure.
Kardashians end up popping because there was a vacuum because of the writer strike. But the Osbournes was like really the first family of this type of medium.
Yeah. I'm looking at a quote from him. He had Parkinson's. He also had other health issues, but he said in an interview previously that I'm not dying from Parkinson's. I've been living with it most of my life. I've cheated death so many times. If tomorrow you read Ozzy Osbourne never woke up this morning, you wouldn't go, oh my God. You'd go, well, it finally caught up with him. So great sense of humor as
Wow.
always.
Wow. I have to say, I was aware of them, of course. I wasn't necessarily an avid watcher of the show because when they came out, I was very much in my church bag, and I'm like, anybody who's calling himself the son or prince of darkness, I don't need to do anything with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a heavy metal rock girly either. I'm strong in that R&B love, always have been, but the general awareness of him, the humor of him and his family, I did
His
enjoy
wife is
over
a
the
big
years.
mainstay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, she's hosted so many shows I've watched, and
Kelly as well.
And Kelly as well. Exactly. So yeah,
Mhm.
very much aware of the family. It's so funny. I didn't realize there was a daughter though who did not want to be on camera. I was like, there's another baby. I think she was the oldest between
I think I remember that, but barely.
yeah.
Well, rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's lighten it up a little bit and talk about some love and some babies.
Yay!
First up, Coco Jones. Seems like all the R&B girlies are getting snatched up.
With seemingly good relationships.
Hmm.
Like I'm loving this. I am here for the hard launch for an engagement. But my girl Taylor Rooks, the sports journalist, she did a hard launch at her wedding. She just posted her wedding picture. So
She
I
did that
thought
Issa Rae thing.
yes. So
Good
I
for
was
you.
in shocked when Coco, her launched, her boo via engagement. I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
love when the girlies do that.
What I mean, it had definitely been rumored that she was dating Donovan Mitchell, but yes, it is now confirmed after 2 years of dating that they are engaged. I'm looking at people. Reps for the Grammy winner and the NBA star tell the publication they look forward to building a life together. Donovan plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers, so who knows? We may
Yes,
see
yes,
Coco
yes.
popping up in these Ohio streets. But the engagement photo was beautiful. It was like sun over
Yes.
them, beautiful black, the
Yes.
beautiful blacks
Beautiful
with their
blacks.
white and black outfits, the white candles behind them. It was a very picturesque and beautiful
He got that hand on that
photo.
booty. I'm
He,
like, but I
because
guess
that's
he's
his
like,
girl.
yep, they're engaged.
Hmm.
Apparently, Sierra and Russell Wilson are freaking matchmakers, apparently, because they had their hand in this as well. I guess they helped with planning the engagement. I'm like, are y'all fairy god
They
mother and
are
father in love?
they are the black celeb matchmaking couple.
Wait, with an R&B girly and a
An
sports dude.
athlete. Yep. The only one they may not have done is Ella May
No,
and Jason.
no, right.
All these others, yes, seems to be that they have like it's probably their dinner parties and their get-togethers
Probably.
and yeah. But very happy for Coco.
I just love her because she's so classy. I love that for her. So,
Very. Moving on to a couple that was much more unexpected for me. Meg the Stallion and Klay Thompson
girl,
made their debut. Hard launch
first of all,
on the red
I don't
carpet.
hate it.
I
I don't
don't
hate
hate it.
it.
I just when I first heard the names together, I was like, "What?"
You know
Like
what
I
I
didn't
love the
see it coming.
most? What I love the most is that she got somebody taller than her, and that makes me so happy. I mean, the stallion, he can handle. I mean, he's up for the challenge of handling her.
I think he's got it covered, for
But
sure. But
it was at her nonprofit foundation. Like that's
yes,
major.
the inaugural Pete and Thomas Foundation gala. And she told E News, is what I'm looking at. She said, "The cat's out of the bag, babe." They like felt like one of those couples that they've definitely spent their time solidifying things in private
Yep.
to
Yep.
be ready to face the public. You could tell by like their, in my opinion, their comfort with each other, the way
Yes.
she didn't like hesitate to kiss him in front of the cameras.
Right.
And then the little workout video of them together with him adding his commentary.
I love it. I was like, first of all, I love Meg the Stallion narrated video because she's hilarious. But then the fact that he was in it too, I was like, oh, this is so cute. But again, I they were dropping hints before because I remember she posted that picture at the pool. I was like, is that Klay Thompson in the back? Like, what? And then this hard launch, and it was so sweet, Ashley. When he was being interviewed, he was like, yeah, I know they'd be proud of her. I wish I could have met them. Like talking about the foundation's named after her mom and dad, who are now passed on. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is so sweet. And again, she's like, he's the nicest guy she's ever been with. And I'm like, we love a nice guy. Like,
Not
He wants
even
somebody.
just that. It's like, I don't think nice is the standard. It's like, who's that person that the relationship feels different with, that has a level of communication and respect and just a lot of things that it doesn't seem like maybe her previous relationships, some of these little rappers
Right. They didn't.
had.
And when I say nice, it's what you're touching upon. It's the respect, right? Like, I'm gonna call you. I'm not gonna gaslight you. We're gonna, if I'm saying I'm gonna do something, I actually do it,
Is it crazy to say too he's more handsome on her arm than he's ever been before?
Girl,
Like she's making
he,
him look very, very good.
what did Beyonce say? Baby, let me upgrade you.
There you
Okay.
go.
That's
There you
okay.
go.
Who
There you go.
cares?
There
He
you
got
go.
big hands and he's tall. No,
Because I never looked at Klay Thompson twice, and I was like, all right, you looked at
girl,
with
never.
Megan.
But I never thought he
With
was
Megan.
not attractive. I mean, you
No,
gotta
that's not
the
what I mean. He's
NBA,
not ugly.
the NBA is full of like, I say this in jest, but like alien men. These men are freakishly tall. They have big features. I mean, love you, LeBron, but I used to think he was weird looking growing up. I was like, who's this man with the Abe Lincoln beard? Like, this is what I used to
Hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for her. You got Tiana Taylor who's booed up and seems like she's with somebody who really cares and loves her. You got
Yes, she said
Meg.
she said he handles her like a cup of tea.
There you go. You got
Oh,
Meg in this now. You got Coco. You got Normani. Like, I just love that it seems like the ladies in the music world are getting some good men. And I need
yes,
y'all to stay good and
girl.
treat these women the way they deserve to be treated.
Period.
Please and thank you. Sierra's prayers still coming in.
Yes, yes,
The
yes.
clutch. All right. Let's move on. Let me do a quick like highlight, which is that Venus Williams is engaged as well. Venus Williams is
Yes.
engaged. What's her fiance's name? He's an actor.
He is. He's an Italian actor. He's actually quite cute. Is it Andre something?
It's Andrea Preti.
I don't know
So
him, but
me
that doesn't mean
either.
anything.
Yeah, but if she's happy, I'm happy for her, baby.
And she's the second oldest tennis player, woman, to win a match.
There you
She
go.
just won a match recently. I'm like,
She's
I love
also
Venus.
dating engaged to a little younger man. He a little bit younger.
Wait,
Okay.
wait. Andrea, what?
Andrea
Uh,
Preti. He is 8 years younger than her.
oh, he's cute. All right, Venus. They stay with like Italian men. Before Serena was with Alexis,
She was
her
dating
her
her
Venus,
coach. Remember that?
he's French. Yeah, they kept it European man.
Italian, French, wee, all of it.
Just love her and don't act crazy.
Exactly. Because Alexis
Venus,
is like Serena's number one cheerleader. So
I love that for her so much. I love every chance. He just did an interview on the Today Show, and every time he talks about his wife, he's like, she's the goat, the greatest of all time, and then blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yes, sir. If
absolutely.
nobody's gonna rep his wife, what they say, if this person ain't got no more fans, then I'm dead.
hmm I mean, that's the way it should be. Rep your spouse, baby. Rep your spouse. All right, let's talk about our last headline, which is good old Pete Davidson is possibly settled in a relationship, at least for now, because he is expecting his first child. I'm looking at USA
Ashley,
Today. He is opening up about his dream. He and his girlfriend, Elsie Hewitt, announced her pregnancy on July 16th via Instagram. And I think she said something like, oh, shoot, now everyone knows we've had sex.
I love this for him because we've talked about him on this podcast for like the last almost 5 years because he has been tied to a really hot woman.
And this one's
And
still pretty hot.
oh, she is too. She's actually the ex Ryan Phillippe's ex. So you go from this large age gap to someone within range. I love this for her, honestly, too.
I
But
tell you, they get passed around in Hollywood. Who hasn't slept with who in these circles?
like with Pete, I think he really be trying to make connections with these women, and these women are just checking out the goods and just
So you said Pete's getting passed around the plate. He's
you
looking
just
for a
start breaking
home.
up Pete Davidson. You should try him out. So I love this for him. I think he'll just love being a dad. I don't know. I kudos to him, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he said it's his dream. This is why I didn't think him and Kim were beyond the
Yes.
obvious craziness of them ever being a pairing. I knew he wanted to be a father and I knew she was done
Yes.
having kids. So I was always like, so
Correct.
what are we doing here? Just having some good sex
Exactly.
or
Yep.
because that man is ready to be a father. And yes, it gave him some practice to be around her kids. But that's what made me happy is like he's always seemed lovely.
Yeah.
And, we had heard the rumblings of like, yeah, he's ready to settle down. He's ready to have a family. He's ready to have children. So it makes me happy that, he's found somebody to do that with. And let me say, his glow up with her continues. Like he looks good.
Yes.
He looks great.
Yes. And you know what? I think it's partially because he's actually happy. So, shout out to him and
There
her.
you go. There you go. And he's not trying to keep up with a teeny bopper or anything like that, right? He seems
Right.
settled. He's
Yep.
not trying to dye his hair to keep up with Ariana Grande or whoever.
Oh, and he was the whole thank you next too, right?
Yep. Yep. He's on two of Ariana's songs. She's funny. All right. Congratulations to all of our couples and to this baby announcement. May all go well. Let's move on to our three hot topics of the week. We'll roll through these fairly quickly. I don't know how much we're going to really talk about the Emmys because to be fair, I haven't really dove too deep into them, but we'll
Girl,
see.
same.
First, let's start with the Late Show with Stephen Colbert cancellation. We talked about that a little bit. Guys, it's late. We've talked about this a little bit via text. I worked in television for some years. I already knew that the concept of late night television may not be continuing for too much longer, just based on how broadcast television has been going, how ratings have been going, how streaming has been going, how technology is going. Sure. But what shocks me is that you choose to start with the highest rated late night
Girl,
show of the network shows in a
girl.
time where he is the most outspoken between him and Kimmel, the most outspoken about this current administration and president, and works for a network that is trying to have a merger that needs government approval. So,
But even before that, that payout was very suspicious. I think it's interesting that all of our networks are having these random payouts to this administration, wait, one way or another. And I'm talking about you, Prime Video, paying for what we say, a $35 million documentary about Melania. Like, what are we gonna do with that? It was also very suspicious because Paramount, girl, the editor of freaking 60 Minutes stepped down because they were like, I don't like the direction the owners or
yep.
the higher ups are moving because they're scrutinizing all of our stories and this isn't free speech. So this just feels like, yes, two things can be true: the end of late night as we know it, but then them silencing this administration's largest critic at the same damn time. Like, he is the leader. He is the leader of late night, and you canceled the show. And like I said in the text, I like they came for the blacks, the people of color, and now they're going for the loudest critics. And what I mean by that, uh NBC, the stuff that they did with MSNBC, it should be criminal. Canceling the Joy Reid show, having freaking Lester Holt step down as the nightly news host. They were like, oh, well, he's doing other things. Yeah, I don't think they would have done that if the other person would have won. I'll just say that much. Also on MSNBC, all of the several people of color who had their own shows, just miraculously the shows got canceled because of this, reorg. I just find it so disappointing that nobody seems to have a freaking backbone.
Yeah. I am so disappointed and sad by, I mean, everything that's gone on leading up to this last election and now post election. The speed and rate at which everything is happening and things are
Exactly.
folding and
Girl.
institutions are bending the knee, and journalism is, that has been for me in our lifetimes a beacon of honesty, integrity, for the legit journalism and journalists. I mean, not, I'm not talking about Fox News and some of that BS. To see this disintegration is heartbreaking for me. There were eras previous, obviously, where it was a lot of propaganda. It was a lot of, um, you know, things that you could look back on with journalism that was disgusting, and that was a era, a show of that time. And I feel like that's the direction it's going back in, with a lot of these things that are happening, where it'll be more focused on bending to whoever has ownership over it, or whoever is in political power that dictates what can be talked about and what can't be talked about. And I just, that's not what I had signed up for when I decided to go into that as a career field. And that just makes me really, really sad. But it also, again, is just shows kind of the state of the world we living in generally, and I don't know what to do about that. Right? Like, yes, this is only one show. Maybe people will think this is being blown out of proportion, but it is just a larger sign of the times we're living in and the things that are going on generally in this country and in the world. And that continues to sadden and disturb me.
Amen.
Let's move on to something that was a comedic relief, I guess is the best way to
Girl,
put
we
it.
needed this reprieve.
Yeah, they didn't want this level of media attention, that's for damn sure, but they got it. Coldplay had a little concert, and a man and a woman were caught on that kiss cam, and they ducked for dear life. Chris Martin was like, yo, either they having an affair or they're very shy. This was the CEO, and I don't know what the lady's title was, Chief People
She's
Officer,
yes,
CPO
yes, yes.
of Astronomer, a tech company. The CEO has since resigned. And
I don't know about her.
she has not, according to the latest
Correct.
information, she has not.
Correct.
That's why I said he has resigned. She has not. It was endless. The jokes, the reenactments, the memes, it was relentless. And I definitely got a lot of joy out of it. I definitely got a lot of chuckles out of it. Had they just played it cool, I'm not sure if they still would have completely gotten away with it, but at least I don't think it would have went viral.
Nope. And I finally get why Dakota was with Chris for so long, because she too is very messy. Um, it's some of my favorite commentary though is like straight white man cheats, boring. Like, what's new? But the one take that I thought that tickled me, they're like, oh, why can't a man have a age appropriate side piece?
Yeah.
First of all, y'all ain't really trying to hide. Y'all are in suites.
Well, that's the thing. They're allegedly in the company suite, booed up like this. So it's like,
Y'all ain't
Y'all
trying.
wasn't that discreet, right? This must have been at least somewhat of a publicly open affair amongst some coworkers, right? Like this was not,
Exactly.
I think it was one of those things where probably the board and some of the leadership was like, well, shit, you know what you gotta do now? Cause like we was cool keeping it
Because
secret, but it's public now.
it
So you gotta go.
shows poor decision making for sure.
And this was debatable on again. I reference higher learning because I just listened to the episode today and I love that pod. But Van was adamant that he didn't feel like the CEO should have had to resign and all this. I think he's wrong because there's no way that, in my opinion, that a lot of the employees and folks like that would be able to take him seriously anymore after this scandal. And it's just not good for like the morale. It's not good for leadership and being able to have direction and all of that that he needs in that position. And then also, it's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing to the company.
Well, so David Banner, the rapper, he was on Shannon Sharp's podcast and he said something that I wish more people would take in consideration. He said that he talked to someone and they told him about it, so he adapted it. He does not do business with a man who cheats. And it's all about, the man's character. Like, if you can cheat on somebody he claims to love, what do you think he's going to do with someone like you?
Yeah.
And I was like, if only the world would adopt something like that. But, the expectation of, again, a man in power and money cheating, unfortunately, the bar is in hell. Because you can't even depend on that from spiritual leaders in some cases either. So, uh,
Nah. I mean, the affair itself isn't the thing that, again, I don't think that's the thing. I mean, even though they could have morality clauses in their contracts, I don't think
yes,
that's the thing that would
yes,
ultimately cause the issue.
especially.
It's like, well, you done fucked up and got caught now. So you got to go. Gotta go.
But his letter of resignation was full of audacity.
Oh, I didn't even read it.
Oh my God. He ended up quoting freaking Coldplay's lyrics at the end. I'm like, what are we doing? At first, I was like, is this real? Is this a joke online?
Well,
But it wasn't.
he can joke if he wants to, but apparently his wife is probably gonna take him to the bank. So we'll see. Good luck to that man.
She gonna get paid.
All right, let's move on to our final hot topic. These 2025 Emmy nominations. And again, apologies, I have not really reviewed these lists to see what's on here, but I see that Severance leads the nominees with 27 mentions, followed by The Penguin at 24, which is on HBO Max, The
Yes, yes,
Studio
yes.
on Apple TV Plus, and The White Lotus at 23 apiece, and The Last of Us also on HBO, right? At 16.
Yep. No network television. Well, we've had this conversation already.
Well,
But
The Bear is an FX show and it has nominations.
it's the
Um,
first one that shows up and that's at 13. I just it's just an observation.
Adolescence, I don't know if you watched it. I watched it. I
I heard
didn't
great
love
things
it.
about it.
I
Okay.
didn't love it. Like, I didn't love it, but I don't want to, no spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it, but I didn't love it. So it's not
Was
up there for me.
Severance worth the return? Because I know it
Severance
was.
was fantastic. This last
Okay.
season, fantastic. So let's just go through a few categories. Best drama series: Andor, The Diplomat, The Last of Us, Paradise, The Pit, Severance, Slow Horses, and The White Lotus.
I'm so happy for Paradise and my
Yeah,
cousin Sterling K. Brown. This
absolutely.
brings me joy.
Best comedy series: Abbott, The Bear, Hacks, Nobody Wants This, Only Murders in the Building, Shrinking, The Studio, What We Do in the Shadows. I honestly think The Studio has a really good chance of getting some awards because they've had good word of mouth, even amongst
Yes,
folks that I've heard do interviews and things that have no affiliation to the show. So I think it may do well at the awards this year in this award cycle, I should say. Best limited or anthology series: Adolescence, Black Mirror. Black Mirror is still on.
girl. It's too much of a mind fuck for me.
Girl, I was done in episode one. People are always talking to me about Black Mirror. I was like, y'all don't understand. When the prime minister had to have sex with a pig, I was done. Like, that was episode one. I said, this
I
ain't my
think
show.
Issa was in this last iteration.
Yeah, because she did a promo for it where her
Yeah,
eyes rolled
but
back or whatever.
yeah, I'm just and then there's the video game one with who was the hottie from Watchmen?
Yes.
Um, you know who I'm talking
I know
about.
the episode you're talking about because it was
Girl,
Nicole Bahari.
Nicole and
Yes.
American Captain America.
Yes. Yes. I can't think of anybody's
That
name either,
episode,
but it's late. Yes. Yes. That's another one I heard about and I was like, okay.
it's fire. And the way Nicole needs to do more things.
She's
Oh,
phenomenal.
phenomenal.
Dying for Sex, which I did watch and has been one of my hidden gems. Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, and then The Penguin. Best television movie you guys can look at, best reality competition, best talk series, best scripted variety series. Only two. Interesting.
Girl, it's so thin. Even
Yeah.
the Outstanding Talk series, there's like three nominees.
Yeah. Some of these categories are gonna have to get the boot. Best
Oh, the Fallon
actor.
didn't get nominated. Ouch. Like they could have
True.
just slid his name right up in there if they wanted to.
Best actor in a drama series. Sterling is going to be my pick for
Period.
sure.
That's who I'm rooting for.
Best actress in a drama series. I'm gonna have to give it to Carrie Russell
But shout
or
out to
Brit.
Kathy Bates for
I
being
want to
the
watch Matlock.
oldest.
I want to watch Matlock. I just don't have
She
Paramount.
she is the oldest nominated actress for an Emmy. I
Very
think she's
nice.
76 years old.
I mean, Kathy Bates been doing her thing for a very long
Legend.
time. Best supporting, best actor in a limited or anthology series or movie, best supporting actress in a drama series, best actor in a best guest actor, guest actress. Let's see, best actress in a comedy series, Uzo for The Residents,
It's
Kristen
a
Bell
shame
for
they
Nobody
canceled that
Wants
show.
This. Yeah. Quinta for Abbott, Io for The Bear, Jean Smart for Axe. Jean Smart has won this, what, most of the time?
Probably. Shout out to Ao. She's nominated in multiple categories, including directing.
Yeah, for this latest season.
Yeah.
Best actor in a comedy series, Adam Brody for Nobody Wants This, Seth Rogen for The Studio, Jason Segel for Shrinking, Martin Short for Only Murders in the Building, Jeremy Allen
Only
White for
Martin?
The Bear. Yep,
Not
not Steve
Steve?
this year. Not Steve.
What?
I think Seth has a chance of going up against Jeremy in this one. We'll see.
But is Jeremy funny? That is my
It's
question.
a question of whether The Bear should ever be in the comedy category. It's been a question for a long
I know.
time.
I know.
All right, best actress in a limited or anthology series or movie. Kate Blanchett for Disclaimer. That was another one that was a really good show on Apple TV Plus. That was a hidden gem for me. I could give it to her. Rashida did Black Mirror. Okay.
Okay, Blacks. We rooting for you.
I did not really like Sirens, so sorry, Megan,
Oh,
but that's a no for
fudge.
me. All right, let's see if anything else stands out.
Brian Tyree Henry is nominated for lead actor in limited anthology for Dope Thief.
Nice.
Jake Gyllenhaal, presumed innocent, is nominated along with his wife in the supporting Ruth Nega in the supporting actress category. Check out that recap, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Cheekbones. Cheekbones got nominated for outstanding supporting actor. I'm referring to James Marsden. Paradise.
Yeah, I hope Paradise really does get a lot of love. Paradise is a phenomenal show.
His wife is going to be on season 2.
I saw that.
I was so excited. Oh, and again, we love you, girl. Natasha Rothwell. She's nominated for Black Lotus.
The White Lotus.
The White Note Lotus. I love this for her, especially on the tails of her show getting canceled.
Indeed. All right, that's all I have. That's all I have, guys. You can check out the rest of the categories out there on these internets and let us know any thoughts or noms that, should have happened, snubs, any of that good stuff as well. Delora, that's it. That's all for this week. What do we have for the people on Tuesday?
Y'all, Ashley and I have an in conversation with our very first author. I am so excited, Ashley. We are speaking to Kristen L. Berry, the author of We Don't Talk About Carol. It was such a great conversation, Ashley.
It was. She's lovely. The book is
Fantastic.
fantastic.
Yep.
Some twists and turns unexpectedly. It is a thriller, but also a family drama, according to Kristen.
Yes. Yes. Highly recommend.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that's it. That's all. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Thank you for always, coming back when we take a week or two off as needed throughout the summer months and throughout the year, really, because stuff be going on. Y'all know how it is. But please share this episode out with everybody you know. We so appreciate it. We will be back with that in conversation. But in the meantime, as always, be blessed.
Bye.